right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sarah Ann Payne, and I will be giving you a speech on how to survive the Corps 101. Slide. Rule number 1, don't talk about Frog Week like it was a deployment. I get it, it was hard, it sucked, but guess what? It sucks for everybody. So don't go around telling the civilians how many push-ups you had to do or how fast it took you to get over the wall. And don't say that it was the hardest Frog Week ever. Everybody claims that, and I promise yours was not any different than the other ones. Slide. Rule number 2, act normal. Boys, this means don't stand at parade rest when you're talking to a girl in chow. It may sound far-fetched, but I've seen it happen. Also, if you're in a classroom, don't bunch up with a bunch of Corps buddies and have 5 of y'all sitting in one corner being obnoxious. That also happens way too often. Girls, you join a military organization. That means you can't curl your hair when you go to class. It means you can't take on makeup and you can't get some of those highlights that you wanted. It's okay though. If any of the boys call you ugly, you can now kick their butts. At times, you're gonna feel probably less pretty than the other girls in your classes, but you'll learn to love the simplicity of the uniform that you're wearing. Slide. Rule number 3, nap. You may be used to doing 5 to 6 hours of sleep a week from high school, but I bet you aren't used to getting that amount of sleep, waking up to do PT, and then juggling 4 or 5 college classes. Oh, on top of that, you're in a military organization. So, as privates, you're getting stuck with all the details that nobody else wants to do. So, grab that cup of coffee before you go to your 9 a.m. class and make it through. There's a reason teachers don't like teaching people in the Corps in the mornings. We're exhausted. So if your freshman year, all you can do is make it through class, do PT and nap, do that. Your freshman year, you may think you're busy, but I promise this will be the least busy year that you have here. So take advantage of it. Slide. If you're gonna be stupid, you better be tough. Being a freshman, you're currently at the bottom of the totem pole. This means people like to pick on you, and you have a lot of rules to follow. That means if you want to go out to that party on Friday, don't do it your first semester. You have to be in uniform all the time. So if you somehow manage to sneak out of the barracks in civilian clothing, if someone sees you there and they've been in trouble for that, they're probably going to tell on you. Also, if you happen to manage to sneak out of the building in civilian clothing and make it back to the laundry room, don't leave your laundry where people can see that you have civilian clothing in your laundry. It's not smart. You're bound to get in trouble, and at that point, push-ups are the least of your problems. Slide. Rule number 5. If you're gonna creep on people, at least try to be sneaky. I get it. When Colombo and aggressors are training outside, you're curious. They make a lot of noise, they have a very high number of push-ups they're doing, and you want to look at them. Especially living in this building, you can hear them because they're literally right outside your window. Don't just stand in your window and watch if you're gonna try to get them. At least peek your head through the blinds or something, but if they see you watching, they will run up and they will fuss you out. Is that right? Probably not. But it'll happen, you're a freshman, and you can't say much about it. Also, when you walk by their training, don't stare at them. I know, you're curious, and it's interesting, but you will get yelled at. Then your first couple of weeks, you probably wondered what all of the sounds were that the specialty teams make. Don't make fun of those. Even when you get upperclassmen, you want to make fun of those because sometimes they sound funny, but that just gives them another reason to yell at you. Slide. Rule number 6. If at all possible, avoid the pre-campers. If you happen to see a group of tired, haggard-looking people walking around, don't talk to them unless you are spoken to. If you happen to speak to them and tell them good morning and they tell you a lovely get lost with a smile, don't take it personally. Like I said, you think you're busy your freshman year, wait until you get to your junior year and you have PT every day, and then you're also taking 18 to 21 hours. Slide. Rule number 7, dating. I understand, it's college. You're either trying to find a relationship that you hope will last the rest of your life, you're dating around to see what you like, or you're already in a relationship that you know is the one. If your partner isn't in the military, they're not going to understand where your life is going, like how busy you will be. And it's really hard to explain that if they don't understand. So just try to be open with them, because they're not going to understand the first couple of weekends when you say, no, I have a closed weekend because I have a parade. They're not going to understand that. So you have to be open and honest with them. Also, girls, you have to be really careful about who you date, because you have to make sure that that guy trusts you completely, because you will be surrounded. Normally about 5-to-1, 10-to-1 ratio of guys. And if your boyfriend isn't secure with being with you, then he's probably going to blame you for cheating. So make sure you don't give him any reason to cheat, or to think that you were cheating. Slide. Conclusion. This year in the Corps, you'll learn many invaluable lessons. Some of them good, some of them not. Some people figure out that this environment isn't for them, and that's okay. At least you say you tried, and that's a lot more than most of the people in the population can say. Some will realize this is the perfect environment for them. You'll fall in love with it. You won't be in love with it at all times. Trust me, there'll be times when you hate it, and you want to quit. But something inside of you will say, keep going for this, it'll be worth it. Either way, play by these simple rules, and you'll make it through your first semester. Does anyone have any questions? All right, this is the conclusion of my presentation.